Some 18,000 people have been evacuated from severe floods across New South Wales, NSW, in Australia, with more heavy rainfall predicted. The state's entire coast is now under a severe weather warning. Days of torrential downpours have caused rivers and dams to overflow around Sydney, the state capital, and in southeast Queensland. The military is being deployed to help with search and rescue in what has been called a 1 in 50 years event. Australia's Bureau of Meteorology has forecast increased rainfall, strong winds, damaging surf and abnormally high tides in New South Wales on Tuesday. It also said that some 10 million people across every state and territory except Western Australia were now under a weather warning. NSW Premier Gladys Berejiklian said no deaths had been reported by late Monday, describing it as a miracle given what we have been through. But there has been widespread damage in the affected areas, which are home to about a third of Australia's 25 million people. Ms. Berejiklian said many of the communities being battered by the floods had been affected by bushfires and drought the previous summer. "I don't know any time in state history where we have had these extreme weather conditions in such quick succession in the middle of a pandemic," she said. PM Scott Morrison has offered funds for those forced to evacuate. He told Parliament there was serious risk still ahead. What's the latest on the ground? Swollen rivers cut off roads and bridges, and almost 200 schools in NSW will remain shut on Tuesday. People in more than 15 mostly low-lying areas have been ordered to evacuate, and a similar number have been given evacuation warnings. An order requires people to seek shelter with family or friends well away from flood-impacted areas or in a special center. The warning tells people to prepare for an evacuation order. Areas north and west of Sydney, the NSW Central Coast, and the Hawkesbury Valley have been of particular concern. There have been some 15,000 evacuations from the mid-north coast and a further 3,000 in Sydney, officials said. The Australian Defence Force will provide search and rescue helicopters on Tuesday after a request from the NSW government. PM Morrison told MPs across NSW 1,400 first responders have conducted over 700 flood rescues and responded to over 7,500 requests for assistance. He added, "This is an ongoing situation that is evolving and is extremely dangerous." One stranded family was lifted from their flooded home by a helicopter. Responders also saved a family with a baby from flooding in their home in Sydney's west. There have been images of dead wildlife, livestock floating through flooded areas and rows of houses engulfed up to their windows. The Hawkesbury and Nepean rivers, which border Sydney to the north and west, reached higher levels on Monday than during a devastating flood in 1961. Meanwhile, the Warragamba Dam, Sydney's main water source, began spilling over for the first time in 5 years. It reached a peak daily discharge on Sunday of 500 gigalitres, equivalent to the volume of Sydney Harbour, before falling back to 300 gl on Monday.